Oh, hey guys, this is Sasha Daygame here, just in the studio doing a bit of reading, and I thought, why not do another Sasha Daygame podcast? Here we go. Hello world, people tuning in. This is Sasha, and welcome to Sasha's podcast. I'm here at the British Film Institute with my buddy John Keegan, all the way from New York City. Say hello, John.
How are you, man? Oh, hi, guys. Hi, man, and hello, guys. All who's listening.
Let's be honest, it's probably mainly dudes. So, hi, man is actually quite appropriate.
Some interesting women might be listening to learn what men are thinking. Possible.
That would make me happy if there were some ladies out there. And I encourage, if there's ladies out there emailing me, immediately go to your email and right away send me a message and tell us that you're there and what you think, because we love you guys. Why aren't you emailing us? We're lonely without your email, ladies. Please. Why is it only dorky men who haven't had sex since 2004? Actually, 1997 sounds funny, doesn't it? Guys who haven't had sex since 1997. 83.
Yeah, since before the Iron Curtain.
But do mail us. So, yes, I'm here with John. We've been hanging out for a week. I basically asked John to join me in London to help teach a residential program, and I just did a little talk for my old lair here. So a bunch of, I think we broke all the records, like 75 dudes, 80-ish dudes showed up. It was pretty mad.
Out in Covent Gardens, right outside. It was quite a scene.
And it was good. It was good to give a motivational speech and get all that love and appreciation from the guys. Only one guy actually bought something. What a bunch of cocksuckers. That's all I got to say. Come on. I show them the love. They know I know what I'm doing. One dude. Everyone else, all right, yeah, we'll be good. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine on our own. What is that mentality? Stopping these guys from spending lots of money. What's going on here? On themselves, John. On getting themselves more sex. What's wrong? What are they doing wrong?
Well, they're actually, it's not just about, it's not about money. It's about just trying to take what you can get. It's the energy of maybe taking more than giving. The energy of pecking around for little bits here and there. But most of the guys that I talked to had been at it for a while. They've been out talking to women, but they haven't figured out how to make a connection with them. And that's, one guy just said, in 2 weeks I got 30 phone numbers, not one answered. He said actually one did answer, but she told him to stop calling.
Nice.
So that was it. It's that kind of energy, not getting full on about something, saturating yourself with it, going to people who've been working on it for over a decade, and and finding those teachers that really are the best in the world at something. That's what I've always done in every area of my life. When I was an actor, I went for the best acting teachers in the world. When I wanted to learn about nutrition, I learned about the best, the most cutting edge people on the edge of nutrition. When I want to learn about spirituality, I seek out those teachers, whether it's just a book, whether it's audio or video, or if I can afford to meet them in person, then I go out and I do that. And then it just takes my journey to a whole nother level.
So you think motherfuckers just aren't valuing that shit?
Well, I think there are people that do that, and that's the kind of people that actually come and work with you. And then there's a lot of people, they certainly have the right to come and listen in and we put something out for free. But I found a lot of people, they'll just go and I've seen guys in those lairs going for years, getting that stuff for free, picking whoever the coach is, advice for free, and I don't see any advancement in those type of people.
Yeah, it's funny, an interesting topic that we've talked about today, and also that something that just comes up more and more just in all areas of life, is qualifications. And not just when you're qualifying girls, are these the right girls that you want. We're talking today about qualifying customers, like you're talking about another dating coach that we know, qualifying the people who work for him. So it's really important to do that in all aspects, and just make sure that you get it actually just what it is you're looking for when it comes to everything, right? Because otherwise you're just,
well, this is the thing, whether it's with a girl, with your friends, if you're running your own business with your clients, it's like, some people just say, I'll take money, so whoever wants to pay, take it.
Right.
But what we're doing here is we work with people. Like just this last week, you've invited me to work on one of your residential programs, which was 7 days of amazement, of absolute transformation for the students involved and even us. We grow as people. It's a journey, and it's a personal journey where we're interacting with the people that are using our service. Our service comes directly from us, from the source. So it's like very personal. And so we absolutely, whether I spend 5 minutes or an hour, and certainly 7 days, I want to know who I'm hanging out with. I want to know if they're in line with me. I want to know if they want to share what I have to offer. So I qualify or screen or filter very hardcore before I work with anyone, because at one point there's no money in the world that can give me back the time that some pure negative energy will take from me.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Yeah, that's something I've been just cutting out of my life entirely, is negative entry. But let's pause for a second, because we jumped right in, because I just thought it was funny to make that little joke at the beginning, like one cocksucker, because it was funny. But in all seriousness, though, let me just do a proper. Let's just pretend we're starting from the beginning.
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of Sasha Daygame's podcast. I'm here with a very special man, not special in a retarded way, but in a very unique individual kind of way. Interesting story. We met actually at another event that I will not name because it doesn't matter. But the point is, we met at an event in the industry, and immediately, I could just sense this guy was not like most people. Suffice to say, most people are weirdos, and they're either psychologically damaged or physically damaged or both, or just acting weird, or they smell, or they're just creepy as hell. And what made John different is that he was all of those things combined in one. And no, he wasn't. He was none of those things. He was awesome. I had to do that. That was right there. It was right there. No, but he immediately struck me as somebody who just had this amazing energy and presence, and just very genuine and very warm, and really fucking funny as well, which helps with me, funny guy. But yeah, just amazing. So immediately I was like, all right, who's this guy? And we started hanging out. In fact, I met him right around the same time that just briefly after, a couple of months after I met James Marshall. I met James in London, and then soon after, a few months after, I met John in LA. And yeah, we just started hanging out and talking shit, and then and so I've asked John to come finally, to help me teach this one program in London. So we've been hanging out all week, and man, it's just such a fucking pleasure, dude.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So much fun.
Back at
just
you.
Hanging out, and just it almost even though we did a great job and the students were happy, it feels like stealing money because we were having so much fun.
Exactly. That's what it feels like.
It really feels like.
And that's what I had a little quote I wrote. I used to write songs, and I just like the little blues song, and it was, when your avocation becomes your vocation, life is like a vacation, and that's what happened this week.
There it is.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. We had a lot of golden nuggets this week. Shit came out of my mouth. I was like, I gotta remember that. God knows if I'll remember any of it. But yeah, no, it's been such a pleasure, and I don't know. I think for me, you're like the kind of epitome of what a dating coach should be for me, which is well, quite simply, it's just somebody who's completely comfortable with themselves, knows exactly. You're just so comfortable with your own energy. That's the thing. You're totally cool, being that flirty guy, being fun, talking to everybody, and you walk the walk. You're constantly approaching. Today I yelled at John. I'm like, John, come on, I'm trying to hang out with you. All you're doing is talking to girls and flirting, and enjoying yourself, and come on, let's have some bro time. So he's totally just but he's so in tune with it. He's always in tune with it. He's just always that same. He's not turning it on. He's not trying to, he's not, so many guys are trying to turn something on or be something, just for those few moments or whatever, or even maybe even years in a relationship, or those few moments surely when they approach. And John is just himself all the fucking time. He might be a little bit more flirty if there's a nice girl or whatever, but he just is. John Keegan is just John Keegan, and that's so obvious when you hang out with him. It's like, this is the same dude that I'm talking to when he's on Skype, or when we're hanging out alone, or when we're with other people. John Keegan is John Keegan, and it's just, you've just become this amazing person with this fantastic energy, and it's just fucking awesome. So this is something that I mean,
amazing. It's the best. This is the nicest
I'm
thing.
I'm just gonna get down under the table now, and I'm gonna suck your cock.
It's like one of those talk shows where they just kiss each other's ass for 20
That's it. Yeah. No, now you have to tell me I'm a piece of shit. I'll leave, and otherwise people are gonna be suspicious.
Yeah.
But no, it's true. There's just, it just is what it is, and you're one of the few guys out there who has this level of energy, where you're just so in tune with what you're doing, and it's pure and good, and you're helping people for the right reasons, and it's a beautiful thing. And that's what it is. What it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That makes me feel validated, and that's good. And it's great that you can just, and this is, now I'm going to go on about you, because it is important, because one of the things we're talking about is qualifying, and you qualify your friends, the people you work with, your friends, the women you date, because you want to have a great lifestyle. You want to have the lifestyle that you want to have. and he and I have come together, and in a way, for the last year, we've been dating. We've never actually worked together, and this week we did, right? And it was awesome. And the thing about Sasha that I learned is that he's not just a funny guy. He's a completely sincere, authentic, genuine guy who really loves helping people, and he's really tuned into his passion in life, and he's just all forward momentum on it. It's absolutely inspirational to see that. And the reason he and I connect is because we're just two guys. We're two humans. We excel in some areas, and we obviously excel in the same area of meeting and connecting with women, and also beyond that is being connected to ourselves, constantly evolving ourselves, constantly growing ourselves, constantly nurturing our interests, constantly nurturing our passions, and then what we did was we learned to take that outwards, and then we're able to share it with others, and this is an amazing life we're having.
Yeah, it's pretty great. One of the things that really struck me as well is we were sitting in that restaurant with the students, and you did your little things, talk about the four most important things, I don't know if you want to share that with everybody,
sure, yeah.
but during that talk, why don't you share that, and then I'll finish my point.
Okay.
Because I think it'll be more relevant if you say it, and then I'll explain why it's so important.
Okay. In the two things, what I'm about to say is what I see as the heart of a connection between a man and a woman, and that is that a man must come to know that the most important part of the interaction is what she feels. Now, of course, you have to know thyself. You have to know what are your interests. Who are you right now? What are your interests? What are you passionate about? What do you like to do? As little as I like to go to the park on sunny days, as little as I like to sit at cafes and people watch, as little as I like green tea, as little as I like red wine, as much as I love to travel the world, as much as I want to rock an audience of 80,000 people. So you need to know thyself, and then you need to know what kind of people you like to surround yourself with. Like, I like to surround myself with authentic people. I like to surround myself with people who are always looking to better themselves. I like to surround myself with people who have positive outlooks. I like to surround myself with people who have a giving energy, not a taking energy. I like to surround myself with people who know when to give and know when to take. I like to surround myself with people that not only that I feel like I can be myself around, whatever that is. Like, I don't have to be become someone else around. So again, that's another thing about Sasha, is I absolutely 100% feel like I can be me around him. And literally, we've been sleeping next to each other in the same room, not exactly next to each other, but in the same room, 2 different beds. So that's 24/7. We've been together for a week. So anyway, coming back to knowing yourself, now when you're in the interaction, the most important part of it is her and what she feels. And the 4 things she needs to feel are this. Take a pencil. She needs to feel like you got to know her. You got to know something about her, and not just information like where are you from and what did you do, although that can be part of it, but underneath of it is you need to kind of know what she's interested in, what she's passionate about, and you need to kind of know her. Now, she needs to feel like you know her. That's 1. Number 2 is she needs to feel like she knows something about you, and not just where you're from or what you do. This informational exchange, but an essence exchange of like, hey, this guy's light, fun, easy, and sincere, authentic, genuine. That's what she wants to know, more than you're a banker, more than you're a lawyer, more than you're a doctor, more than you drive a Lamborghini. That's what she really wants to know. And lots of guys who, no matter, even famous guys I've worked with, all that stuff doesn't matter if they're not communicating this. I'm light, I'm fun, I'm easy. That means I'm easy to be around. That means I'm not judgmental. That means I'm not going to make you feel bad about yourself. In fact, when you choose to feel bad about yourself, I'm going to allow you. I'm going to help you feel good about yourself, and I'm going to be sincere. So this is what she wants to. So there's two things. She knows you. She feels she knows you. She feels you know her. The third thing is she feels that you see her. She feels that you see her as a special, unique person. She feels that you see her in a beautiful light. And we do that through the process of complimenting or validation or affirming, things as little as her choice in earrings or her choice in jewelry or her style, things as much as her core essence, as much as she has just a nice way about her, or as she's a great listener, or there's just something so amazing about her. So this is what she needs to feel. There's the top three things. You got to know her. She got to know you. She feels you see her as a special, unique person. And the fourth thing is that the person who feels that she's a special, unique person is a special, unique person. So she needs to feel that you yourself are special and unique. The great part is you don't have to do that through bragging about your many achievements or anything like that. Just simply by being a guy who's gotten to know her, who's taken the time to do that right and really was interested in her and learning about her. And Sasha's amazing at that, is really getting into someone's, when she brings up, hey, I'm an actress, and he really goes into it. He doesn't just say, oh, you're an actress, great, what have you been in? That's not getting to know someone. That's being a sort of an outcome-dependent person. That's just sort of someone who's really, that's not connecting with someone, finding out they're from Tennessee or from Serbia and they're an actress. What it is instead is saying, oh, you're an actress, and getting to know, and it's not what's her resume on it. That's not connecting with someone. You're not hiring her for a job. Connecting with her would be getting into it.
Yeah, why did you choose that path? What is it? What moment in your life did you decide, hey, you know what, I want to act? Did your parents support this? Was it your idea? And how do you feel when you're acting? What is that like for you? What's it like to be an actress? Just be curious. Be curious.
Yeah.
That's it. As soon as a girl feels that you're genuinely curious in her and her passion and what she's doing with her life, bingo. That's literally the most important thing.
Yeah,
that's
right.
possible.
Yeah.
But again, and this is what I was trying to say about you just a couple minutes ago, was that a big part of you being really curious about someone else is that naturally they're obviously going to be curious about you as well, and that's where it's so useful to do what John really talks about a lot, which is really, and this is what really impressed me about John, or certainly one of the things, is that John talks a lot about just being connected to yourself, just knowing who you are, what you want, what you enjoy in life, all those things. Just really, you got to be okay with being you, and that's what John is so good at, and he lives it. So it's really, I got that message from him just by hanging around him, and then he just started talking about it, and I was just like, yes, this is exactly it. You're just okay being yourself. And John talks a lot about the fact that we're all human, the fact that we're not perfect, the fact that we all make mistakes. And John had a pivotal moment in his life where he just, where he was struggling, and he just accepted, hey, he's not a perfect being, and then suddenly he started killing it with the ladies. So maybe we'll talk about that in a second. But the point is, so that's the thing. So when you're curious about somebody and they're curious about you, you need to be able to share with them things about you that are interesting. You need to be able to tell them what you're passionate about, what your goals are, what you're interested in. And if you don't have those things and you don't know who you are or what you stand for or what's important to you, how is she going to feel that she got to know you if you got nothing? If you don't know you, how is she going to know you? That's a really big point. So it's really got to be a two-way street, being curious about women and trying to get to know them and connect with them, but at the same time, discovering yourself, going deep into yourself. And this is something I did a talk today, and I spoke about this, and this is a lifelong process. This isn't like, hey, I'm going to take a fucking workshop and all right, I'm awesome. No, right. There is no overnight awesomeness. You can defeat your fear of approaching women, and of course, if you're really lucky, hint, hint, taking my courses, you might be able to, get better at sexual escalation, or you might be better at going into a club and picking up whatever. Sure, but developing yourself and finding your own path and finding out who you are and what you want in life, that shit can take a lifetime. It took me a long time to really figure this out. So it's really a process that is never ending. There's no quick answer to that. So wherever you are at this point in life, whatever you're doing, whatever you're putting your time into, you are shaping the man that you're going to become, the man that you're becoming right now, every minute. By listening to this podcast, you are changing your life. You're listening to two guys who spend a lot of time on personal development, and just by the fact that you decide you're not going to sit here and I'm going to listen to these two fucking dudes on the other side of the planet or whatever talk, you are changing your life right now by listening to this. Just like if you take yoga, or you study martial arts, or you read about self-improvement, or you eat healthy, you're changing your life, for the better, and you're setting yourself up to a place where you're going to be better with women and feel better about yourself, and therefore by being amazing and feeling good about yourself, you're going to be able to connect. Girls are going to be like, wow, you eat healthy, you respect yourself. Wow, you do yoga, that takes a lot of discipline. You must be a little bit of a balanced person. You must be able to relax. Wow, you have interesting friends. Wow, you're into self-help. Interesting. Wow, you used to be shy and now you came up to me on the street. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So you're setting yourself up for all those type of things. Well, at the same time, guys who aren't listening to this, who are going and working boring ass fucking jobs, coming home, playing video games, eating fucking macaroni and cheese, sugar-filled, eating unhealthy ass fucking wheat, living crappy lives. Guess what they're doing? They're creating an unhealthy guy who can't focus, who doesn't know himself, who doesn't have shit going on, who isn't working on himself. That
like
guy
attracts like.
Like attracts, absolutely. So whatever person you're becoming, you're going to attract other people on their journey to becoming amazing people as well. This has been said before, but it's totally true. Like attracts like, and you become a combination of the top 5 people you hang around with. That's really what it is. So I've got all these fucking amazing people around me, and they're making me more amazing. And I was a pretty cool dude before I met John, but I can honestly say after hanging out with him for a week, I'm fucking cooler now than I ever was. I'm more centered with myself. I love me more now.
I'm raising my hand, doing an hallelujah, amen.
No, seriously,
I feel the same way.
I feel lighter and more in love with me and more in love with the world and more comfortable now with me and with women than I was a week ago, because his energy is so powerful and we're on the same wavelength. It's affected me. It really has. I'm getting a little bit teary saying this, but it's true. It's true.
I'm actually leaving. This is
no, it's true.
I would say, and also a good, I many years ago I studied, when I was studying like spiritual matters, Zen-like processes, or all about being in the now type things. I met a guy who was a shaman, and he defined relationships for me, and it was a life changer. So he said all relationships should be mutually beneficial. When it's mutually beneficial, that equals the truth. And that doesn't mean like financially mutually. It could mean that, but it could mean, like my presence benefits him and his presence benefits mine. I feel like all people want to feel like you want to feel by listening to this. The reason you're listening to this is because you want to expand as a person, and that's what happens when he and I are together. We're expanding as people. We feel it. We feel growth, and then life feels limitless. It feels infinite possibilities, and that goes back to being an attractive person. Attraction. When a woman gets with you, when you start hanging out with her, she doesn't want to feel enclosed or confined. She wants to feel like, when I meet this guy, I'm expanding. That doesn't mean that you can just get her into the club, or you just get, that's some guy's game, but that's not an authentic person's game. But she just feels like when she's with you, she's going to become all that she can be. And I have a girlfriend, and one of the reasons she loves me so much is because I nurture her. I allow her to, she has her own interests and passions, and I support her in those endeavors via words of affirmation, and it's probably the most important way I can do it.
Yeah, so just, obviously, everything he said applies to when you meet a woman, right? Like if you meet a woman, she needs to feel that that it's an exchange, right? And so many guys have this negative mindset that women are better than them, that they're above them in some way, that they need to try and get something out of women, like that sex is this magical thing that women have, and it's where it's like we're playing a video game or something where we're trying to trick her and we're trying to get the sex off the girl. And this is completely absurd. Women feel this. They feel that you value it like it's some magical thing, that they feel that you believe yourself you're below them because you're putting them on a fucking pedestal, and you're never going to fucking get it because it's not an exchange. It's not an exchange. It's got to be equal. She's got to feel that she's got stuff to learn from you, and that if you take her out, she's going to learn and have fun and grow as a human being. This is what she wants in her life. She doesn't want just some guy who's going to try and fucking pump her and then never see her again. They have enough of that. Believe me. If you're an attractive girl between the ages of 15 and whatever,
55.
And 55, yeah, who knows? You've had enough of guys trying to just pump you, and that's not enough. And people who are really high value, they're just not interested in that anymore. They're looking for something more. They're looking for someone to connect with, they can share with and grow with, and someone who's going to make them a better person. And that's what girls are looking for. That's what everybody's looking for. So yeah, and in some ways, I think the whole fucking POA community is completely ignorant of that. Like, it doesn't even consider. How do we get the pussy? Let's get some pussy.
Yeah, let's go get laid. Let's go get some numbers, right? But how about let's go give some compliments? How about let's go get to know some people?
Let's make some women feel good.
Yeah.
And see if we can make friends and just get to know some amazing girls and people.
Yeah, and let's see what happens instead of because when you go from that angle, I got 6 numbers. I got that's all ego-based stuff.
Yeah.
Or even the problem that happens in that community is that the goal becomes to become the greatest pickup artist in the world, or the great ladies man. And if you really were to look at yourself honestly, if you've fallen into that, and you go back to say, what I really wanted to do is just be able to talk to girls and have girls like me and have girlfriends and have sex with girls, all the natural things we want to do. It's a silly goal to want to be the world's greatest pickup artist, the world's greatest ladies man. It's all ego-based. But if you like women and you want them in your life, you'll just want to connect with them. And if you get into that mentality, you'll start getting into an abundance frame. Because every interaction is not based on if I got a phone number, or if I got laid, or if I got a hug or a kiss. It's based on I'm practicing what I want to practice in my process of becoming a master, say, at connecting with people, a master at expressing myself with others in any situation at all. And that's part of what we're doing. We're not just saying, get up on stage and give a speech. We're saying life is moving at a certain speed, and no matter what speed it is, whether it's the speed of a library or a supermarket or a bookstore or a lounge, you can connect with women in those situations. And that's kind of the gift, part of the gift that we bring here, that we're doing. And some people call it the pickup arts. I don't call it that.
It's the connection arts.
Yeah, the art of the connection.
Yeah.
The art of moving at the speed of life and being who you are when you're there.
Yeah. Alright, so we just had a little bathroom break there. We basically drink a lot of water because we're always walking around, I guess. So, man, that was a great pee.
Yeah,
that was a great pee. I really enjoyed that one. The one before was better.
Very relieving.
The one before?
I did find it weird that here that they have video cameras in the bathroom.
I looked. I didn't see a video camera.
I'll show you.
I don't think it was a video camera. I think it's
a little tiny video camera coming out of the top.
That is creepy. If that is the case.
Right over the urn.
A couple of guys in the room. Look at this guy's cock. Jesus. That one's like looking at itself. It's going around in circles. So listen, one of the things that I alluded to this before, this is something that again you told me that really moved me, where I was like, wow. So I think it would be a great thing to share, because it's not really well, it's just a huge thing, and it's something I've gone through myself. So I think we could both talk about this, and then I think we'll wrap it up. So that thing is this: you told me that you were going out just like me. Our stories are quite funny. I think it would take too long to go into the whole thing, but essentially around the same time, you and me were both hitting the streets, and doing a lot of going out and being friendly, meeting people, and developing our social skills. And we did it the old-fashioned way, going out and talking to thousands of people. That's basically what we did.
Yeah.
But what you told me was you were at a point there where you were kind of struggling with it, and you were trying hard, and it was just kind of like it wasn't quite working, even though you had the experience. And then suddenly, you had a moment that everything changed, and I want you to share that moment with the guys, and then we could talk about it, because I had a similar experience with being a comic. It's very similar to your experience when you're just kind of let go.
Yeah.
So tell them about that. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, great. Yeah, and it's a big deal. So we'll just title this "Letting Go."
Okay. Let's do a letting go section.
Yeah, and letting go of this identity. It's a lot of this is like identity, crises, And
give them the background. You're basically. I mean, you could talk about this for hours, but the fact that that you were a fucking actor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I can give that much background. Okay, so basically, I had been pursuing acting for a good 10 years in New York City, and doing a lot of theater, a lot of plays, always studying. I studied with some amazing acting teachers. One of them was Vincent D'Onofrio, who's a great character actor. Another was Sidney Kay, who's a great Meisner teacher who's now passed. And I studied with these teachers, and I would go out and do plays. I even had co-written a couple plays, which I performed in New York, LA, and did some film and did a little bit of commercials. Long story short is I really worked hard at that, and living in New York City as an artist isn't always the easiest path to follow. I learned a lot from doing it, but one of the things was that really was my identity, that no matter what day job I was doing, no matter what it was, my identity was that I was an artist, that I was an actor, and my belief was that I would be a well-known actor, that I would be a working actor, that I would be celebrated for this acting. After a long time of doing that and coming up with a lot of harsh realities, I had to come to admit that this might not be my reality, this might not be my future. And that was a hard blow, and it took a long time to kind of digest that jagged little pill. Right? So, but I did digest it, and when I came down to it, it was like, wow, it was like death. It was like a death. And I just asked myself then, what else did I think acting would bring to me besides the fact that I would just get to act and play cool roles and all that? Well, one was I thought it would bring me all the world's most beautiful and interesting women. I thought I would be wearing cool clothes when I met them, not the holes in my shoes I had. And so I thought, I would get to travel the world, and I'd get to see all these cool places that I seemed to keep giving up opportunities to go and do, so I could keep pursuing acting and taking what little money I had and putting it into that. So I made a commitment to myself on that day, and I literally remember I was sitting on a bench on Columbus Avenue between 72nd and 73rd, and just sitting there, and I had that kind of moment kind of congealed then that I would become great at meeting and connecting with women. I would become a ladies' night. And so there was my next ego generation, my next identity, right? But I also said, I'm going to make money doing something else that I love, that I'm going to make money, and at that time I was really reading a lot of books on Zen and spirituality, and the root of it was serving other people in some way. And then I was learning about conscious capitalism, where you put out a real service, where you put out and you really give, and in that you receive. So I was really studying those principles, and so then I set forth to go and meet and connect with women everywhere and anywhere. And I didn't want to go to bars and nightclubs. I wanted to meet real women, the real women I was seeing all day, every day in New York City. And if you live in a city like London and New York, you do see beautiful women all day, every day. Beautiful and interesting women, not just beautiful women who are young girls whose main interest is going to nightclubs and partying, but real people. And so there was no information, just like for Sasha, there was nothing good out there on that at all. So when I did look for it, I would just get things about guys, wearing, crazy clothes and going out to nightclubs in Los Angeles and picking up vapid people. So that wasn't for me. I was an actual real human being who has all the range of emotions that real human beings have, and I wanted to connect with other people. So what I did is I then set forth to take all my acting training and looked at it from a rehearsal standpoint and a Zen-like standpoint, where I would go out and practice and get over all my fears and anxieties. And little by little I did that. I would go up and talk. Every time a girl intimidated me, I made it my mission to go up and just break the ice, just initiate a conversation and walk away. And I just started doing that until I got comfortable doing it in every way that you can, from asking for directions to giving a full-on compliment to something situational to just something absurd or silly. And then I started practicing getting to know her, practicing sharing about me, and which at that time, and I really felt like I didn't like talking about me because I didn't like what was going on in my life. I didn't really have an income coming in now. I didn't. I was an actor who no one ever heard of, and so I didn't really like talking about it. So I got pretty creative avoiding that question, and all that kind of stuff. And then I got really creative at connecting with people on a level beyond form, a level beyond our social identity, and that actually became a gift to help other people who have great social identities, like a doctor or a lawyer or a business owner or successful in the entertainment, help them connect with people beyond their social identity, and that's the deepest kind of connection. So, long story short, just to get to the point you were saying, I worked on this day and night. I had saved up some money from a sales job I had, and day and night I was in the streets of New York City, going to every cafe, walking down the street, going to the supermarkets, the bookstores, Central Park, and I was just practicing meeting and connecting with women, talking to women I thought in my past life I never even would be attracted to, and then just learning so much about myself and people from doing it, right? But I kept finding, man, after about 3, 4, 5 months, the women I wanted to date still weren't dating me. They weren't necessarily calling me back. They weren't this. I was dating some girls, but it wasn't adding up to John Keegan being the world's greatest ladies' man. John Keegan dating interesting and beautiful women. It wasn't adding up to that, and it was another death of an identity, right? It was like I had to be that so bad, and that desperation was oozing off into every interaction, and desperation is the world's worst cologne.
Yep.
And so that was coming off that sort of, I need this validation, I need to have her phone number, I need to have sex with her, I need to make her my girlfriend. That desperation was repelling the very people I wanted to attract. Anyway, one day I was just so burned down on it that I just kind of just let it go. I just said, it's okay. I just accepted that. Guess what? Now not only am I not going to be a movie star, I'm not going to be the greatest ladies man in the world. I'm not going to be the great pickup artist. I'm not going to do these things. And guess what? I accepted that, and a calm came over me like never before. It was like, oh, guess what? I'm still here. The sun is still shining. I'm breathing in the air. I'm still young. I'm still feel good in my body. I can still be anything I want,
Except an actor.
Except an actor or good at women.
Right.
But I mean, I still can enjoy life.
Yeah.
And whatever that was, a calm came over me, and I think for like a week or two, I didn't even talk to women anymore. Then one day, I sat in a cafe, and there was a girl just happened to be sitting next to me, and I struck up a conversation, and the next thing I was completely relaxed. I was completely comfortable with that, whatever the outcome. I wasn't trying to make it anything. I was just literally connecting with her, just literally having fun improvising with her. And I just remember, whoa! It was like I finally got the arrow right into the center, without trying, without wanting it to go there almost. And then the next thing you know, from that day forth, man, I just flew. I just flew.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's years later, and it keeps expanding and expanding. I've been in the New York Times, Men's Health, Spike TV, Marie Claire, Cosmopolitan. All that came from wanting to talk to women. I'm going to get to talk to anyone out there is listening and learning today. That's like amazing, because I was just a guy living in a dusty room trying to do the best he could.
So there you go. That was the bit I wanted the guys to hear. and it's just a really huge thing. It's just that acceptance, that just letting go, and just being.
And just as a caveat to that, some years later, the New York Times came to me and they did a story on me, and I didn't know what it would be. It could have been good or bad or indifferent. And what they did was they called me the ladies' man. And I thought that was pretty amazing.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah. But at that point, I thought it was silly that they called me. I didn't see myself as that. I still don't. I just see myself as someone who likes talking to people, someone who likes flirting with girls, someone who, likes practicing being in the moment with other people.
Yeah. And the other, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. The whole story is beautiful and inspirational. And yeah, the other lesson there is again, just stop identifying with all this shit, like I am this, I am that, I'm a businessman, or I'm a comedian, or I'm a magician, or I'm good with women, or I'm bad with women, and just be you. Just what makes you happy. Go and do that. Who do you like hanging out with? Go and hang out with them. It's so much simpler than identifying with all this kind of shit. Because it's really keeping us all down, frankly. But I have a very similar story. I think you got the point across, which I really wanted the guys to hear. But my story is very similar. I was doing stand-up my whole life, and I was a great comic. But I was always looking at other people who were doing better. People who they started doing comedy after me, and yet they're on TV and I'm not on TV or whatever. And it drives you crazy comparing yourself to others and trying to decide how successful you are as a person based on what someone else is doing. Are you fucking retarded? That doesn't make any sense. It's a horrible thing to do.
To compare is to despair.
Exactly. And I wasn't happy, and I was always suffering. And again, when I started coaching guys with this kind of stuff, and eventually that sort of started happening, and I gave myself to it. I was like, all right, this is happening. I love doing this. Let's do this. Let's not be angry that I'm not doing comedy. That I'm not that I'm not focused on that. And here I am years later, just accepting that this is my path, and I love it. I think I love this as much, or maybe even more than I did doing stand-up comedy. And I thought my whole life I'm just going to be a comic. That's who I am. That's what I am. I'm never going to be anything else. And now I'm a coach and I'm a comic. But I just gave up on that idea of like, this is who I am. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. There is no supposed to be. You're supposed to be doing what it is you want to be doing, what feels right to you, what makes you happy. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Nothing more, nothing less. So one day I'll go through that whole big story, but essentially, I touched on this today during my talk. Don't waste your time trying to become something or somebody that you don't want to become.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And yield. Give in. Let go.
Yeah.
Let go.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I thought that was quite good. I think we deserve. I feel like the guys listening to this should buy us lunch. I feel we put. They were talking about value earlier. I think we deserve lunch now.
Thank you.
We do accept donations on the website. If anything comes in specifically for this, I'm gonna go and take John to lunch. So there you go. If anyone writes down, this is for the Keegan podcast. But in all seriousness, so John, we had a great time. So we'll be working together again. John's gonna be helping out on a residential program coming up shortly. That it's going to be amazing. Other great teachers are going to be there, including my friend James Marshall and others. I realize this podcast will be on forever, so I won't give specific details out. Whoever listening to this will be, when did this come on? Is there? And then they'll go check the website. So go check it out, and it's amazing. It's great when I put stuff like this together, and it brings together other coaches with different strengths, because it just kind of creates a synergy where it's just like I can't explain it, but like just learning from John or me or James is awesome, but if you put like two of us together or three of us together, holy shit, it's just a new level, because you got three or more guys who are experts who are just in that flow, and we're all on it, and then it's almost like when you surround yourself with those type of people, your game goes up a notch. So it's like we're all working together,
absolutely, yeah.
And it's just like it's phenomenal what can happen.
And synergy is when two or more parties come together to make something none of them could make alone, and that just this last week it was like really beautiful. It was unbelievable. I mean, we worked together amazingly well, and then we're able to connect with these guys in each in our own way, with our own voice that is our true voice, and it's just like for these guys to get to feel that and witness that, it frees their voice.
Yeah. So for anyone out there who doesn't know about John or didn't know about John, you're welcome, fuckers.
Yeah.
You're welcome. John's got a website.
Yeah.
Plug your website if you want to find out more about John.
TheAwakenedLifestyle.com or JohnKeeganDating.com, and there you can sign up for my newsletter.
Oh, I see.
You can find out where I'll be.
Stealing my guys.
What we're all sharing in evolution.
We are.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there, I do recommend John. So if you're in the New York area, he's usually there, and you want to train with him, look him up. And if you mention to him that you heard about him through me, I will send you a very special gift. It's actually so special, I'm not going to say what it is because everyone will start trying to get it off me. But it's basically a piece of content I created that's extremely powerful, and I'll give that to you as a gift just because John's my friend, and I want you guys going and working with him too.
Thanks.
So check out my page for us working together. It's obviously you guys on the website. It's SashaDaygame.com. There's a button there for upcoming programs, and that's it. This was amazing. I believe this is the last podcast we're doing on my YouTube channel, and then next time we're going to move it to iTunes. We're going to do an actual proper podcast on iTunes. So that's exciting. We'll be moving to there. So if you're listening to this and you're looking through my page, you're like, why aren't there more podcasts? Because we've moved to iTunes. That's where it is now. Go and check that out. And I just want to say thanks to John for flying out here and working with me this week. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. It was an awesome week. It was great seeing London, doing what I love to do. With I feel like we're like two, like Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page came together for a great live show. Yeah.
It has been that. And to be honest, though, mainly we just sit around, make jokes, and eat delicious vegetarian food. But you know, that's got its place too.
Superfood smoothies.
I love the smoothies.
Yeah.
So that's it, fellas. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on a proper podcast on iTunes next time. Peace.